I never thought buying milk could ruin my week until a woman in a pink sweater cut in front of me knocked over my milk and screamed assault loud enough to stop the whole store. 3 days later, that same woman posted my name on our HOA page calling me violent and unstable. But the day she had to restock shelves in an orange vest, that was the day karma clocked in for overtime. It started like any other Tuesday night. I was dead tired after a 12-hour shift just grabbing a gallon of milk for my son Leo and a cheap bunch of carnations for my wife Tammy. The store was quiet, almost peaceful. 10 items or less, Lane one more beep, and I'd be home. Then I heard it, the sound of doom in retail form. Squeak, thump, squeak, thump. The unmistakable rhythm of a shopping cart with a bad wheel loaded to the brim and pushed by someone who doesn't give a damn about anyone else. Before I could turn around, she cut right in front of me, a mountain of groceries, organic, kale, quinoa, pasta, overpriced everything. Pink shirt, white sweater that probably cost more than my work boots. No excuse me, no glance, nothing. Just shoved her cart up to the belt and started unloading like she owned the place. I said as calmly as I could, "Ma'am, this is the 10 items or less lane." She looked at me from head to toe, steel-toed boots, dusty work shirt, and smirked. "I'm in a hurry," she said like it was a royal decree. Then she slammed a box of pasta onto the belt and knocked my milk off. I caught it mid-fall. She didn't even flinch, just said "oops" and kept unloading. My fists clenched. Every part of me wanted to tell her off, but my phone buzzed my boss, Quinn. "Mike, he said I've got double time this weekend if you want it, but you stay clean. No fights, no drama. You screw up before Saturday, I give it to Johnson." I looked at her smirking at me like she could smell the leash around my neck. Double time meant mortgage new cleats for Leo, dinner out with Tammy. I couldn't lose that. So I swallowed my pride hard. And that's when the universe decided to make things worse. A young mom with a stroller tried to squeeze past, caught her wheel on Karen's cart. One jar of pickles tumbled and shattered on the floor. The baby started crying that piercing newborn wail that makes everyone's spine tighten. The mom stammered, "I'm so sorry." But before she could finish, Pink Sweater spun around and screamed assault. He pushed me. He scared the baby, and she was pointing right at me. The store went dead silent. Cashiers froze. People craned their necks. I hadn't even moved, but to anyone watching a big, tired guy in work boots and a pissed-off woman screaming assault, it looked bad. My brain screamed to defend myself, to shout the truth, but Quinn's voice echoed in my head. "No trouble, Mike. No trouble." The manager, some kid named Dave, ran over sweating bullets. "Ma'am, what's going on?" She turned on the waterworks instantly. He shoved my cart. "He's threatening me." Dave looked at her, then at me, then at the crying baby. His face said it all. Corporate headache. I raised my hands. That's not what happened. The stroller bumped her cart. It was an accident. The mom nodded, whispering, "He's right." But Karen rolled her eyes and said, "He intimidated her into saying that. Look at him." For a second, I thought that was it. My weekend, my paycheck, my dignity gone. Then I noticed the guy in the gray polo, Marcus Loss Prevention. He wasn't panicking. He was looking up, scanning the ceiling. Cameras. Sweet, merciful cameras. He said, calm as can be. "We'll check footage from C7. Karen crossed her arms. "Go ahead," she said, like she thought the world was rigged for her. While they reviewed the tape, the silence in that checkout lane was suffocating. The smell of vinegar from the broken jar, the baby hiccuping the squeaky mop against the tile. My anger simmered under my skin. She'd tried to destroy me over pickles. Then Marcus and Dave came back. Ma'am Dave said the footage shows no contact. The stroller caused the fall. "Sir, you're clear." Karen's face went from red to ghost white to furious. "Your camera must be broken," she snapped. But Marcus cut her off. "It's clear, ma'am. You're free to go." I should have just left. But something in me snapped, not rage, just righteous pettiness. I smiled and said, "Actually, let her go first. She's in such a hurry." Dave blinked, then nodded. She started unloading again, seething. I leaned in, calm as a monk. "Brenda," I said to the cashier that kale doesn't have a price tag. Might need a price check. Brenda sighed. Karen's eyes could have melted steel. 2 minutes later it scanned at $5.99. Then her coupon didn't work. "It expired yesterday," Brenda said. I smiled. "Maybe try entering the code manually. Gotta make sure she gets all her savings." I swear, Dave almost choked, trying not to laugh. When she finally paid, I said, "Oh, I think my milk ended up in her cart. Mind checking." They voided her last item just to be sure. 20 minutes later, she was fuming, humiliated, and stormed off straight into the emergency exit. The alarm chirped like a bird scolding her. The doors wouldn't budge. Everyone stared. She pushed again, harder. Nothing. Marcus appeared beside her like a ghost. "Ma'am, that's an emergency exit." Her face was crimson. "I'm a paying customer." "Open it. The main exit's that way," he said. Cameras caught the whole thing. She finally stormed back, nearly collided with a teenager, recording her. Delete that she shrieked and smacked at his phone. That's when the police showed up. I stayed frozen, heart pounding. I could have defended the kid, but I didn't move. Quinn's warning was iron in my chest. No trouble. The cops talked to her then to me. I told them everything steady voice, no anger. The teen showed his video. That night I left with my milk and flowers exhausted but untouched. Or so I thought. Next morning, Tammy found it first. "You need to see this," she said. HOA Facebook page. Top post by none other than Karen Connor, Riverside Meadows HOA president. A whole novel of lies. Blurry photo of my back at the store. She called me a dangerous, unhinged man who attacked a woman and child. My name. My street. All right there. Comments rolling in, neighbors calling me a menace. My stomach dropped. I wanted to drive straight to her house. Tammy grabbed my arm. "No, that's exactly what she wants." Her voice was calm but fierce. "We'll fight her with facts, not fists." So we did. Tammy was a strategist. She pulled out my receipt 9:14 p.m. and wrote a post so clean it could have been written by a lawyer. According to store footage and the police report, all accusations were proven false. The store manager and Riverside PD can confirm. No yelling, no drama, just facts. Then she posted in the local moms group, "Looking for the woman with the stroller at Super Save last night." Within an hour, Sarah replied, "That was me. Karen's story is a lie. Michael helped calm my baby. I'll testify to that." It was like dominoes. Then I remembered my neighbor Nate, retired, obsessed with his car and his fancy dash cam. "Nate, you were at the auto parts store last night, right?" He was, and his dash cam caught everything outside. Karen parking in a handicap spot without a placard and later being escorted out by police. Tammy posted the clip. That was the turning point. The HOA comment section flipped overnight. Sympathy turned to outrage. Neighbors started sharing their own Karen horror stories, her ticketing people for lawn heights, screaming about Halloween decorations, you name it. The truth had her cornered. Then came the call from the store manager, Dave. "Mr. Freeman," he said, voice shaky. "Corporate wants to host a community forum. We'll show the full footage and invite the parties involved. We want transparency." Tammy looked at me. This is it. The night of the meeting, the Super Save Cafe was packed. Neighbors, parents, even the teen with the phone were there. Karen showed up dressed down but still radiating arrogance. Dave apologized to the crowd, then the video played. Every second of it. The line, "Cut the spilled milk," her scream, "Her lies the emergency exit," the slap. The audio from the teen's phone echoed through the speakers, her shriek of assault followed by the silence of the truth. When it ended, you could have heard a pin drop. Then an elderly woman stood up, leaning on her cane. "I was in line behind that man," she said. "He was polite." She lied. Her words hit harder than any lawyer's statement. Finally, the corporate lawyer took the podium. Calm, cold, precise, effective immediately. Ms. Connor is permanently banned from all Super Save locations. Additionally, she will issue public apologies and perform 20 hours of community service here at this store. The crowd gasped. She will restock shelves and collect carts wearing a vest labeled Community Service. I didn't say a word. Tammy squeezed my hand. Justice wasn't loud. It was clean, sharp, and final. Weeks later, life went back to normal. Bills paid overtime, secured. One Saturday, I walked into that same Super Save with Tammy and Leo. And there she was. Karen Connor, former HOA president, now wearing a bright orange vest. Her hair tied back face tight with shame, stacking cans crookedly on a shelf. People didn't mock her. They just ignored her. That somehow was worse. She wasn't the center of attention anymore. She was just another worker cleaning up her own mess. I walked past her aisle, stopped, and turned one of the cans she'd stacked the wrong way so the label faced forward, neat and perfect. She froze, but I didn't look at her. I just fixed the shelf and walked away. That was the last thing I ever said to her without saying a word. Sometimes the best revenge isn't shouting louder. It's staying calm long enough for the truth to do the talking.